Welcome to Sankofa, Camagweni, Molweni, Lotani, and greetings to everyone out there in all over the world, wherever you are today. It's your host, Dr. Mvoko, GOGO MAJOLA, and I would like to say thank you so much to my mentor, Utatu Mabonga, for giving me this opportunity to present today and be here and sitting in this hot seat and being the one who's going to lead the show today. And today is one of those days when we're talking about women issues. And women's health is such a big and broad topic, and there are so many things that are affecting women. There's a mental side of things, there's a psychological, there's a physical aspect, and there are many things that we're going to talk about concerning women. And today we're going to focus specifically on the so-called sperm donors. And we're going to unpack that. What does sperm donors mean? Do we really have sperm donors? What originates to sperm donors? And do sperm donors exist in our African culture? You know, and those cases of whereby there's a high increase of single mothers, and whereby they end up classifying men as sperm donors. Cases of whereby women choose to not to have a partner, female partner, they then decide to go to the sperm bank and get the sperm and then have a child. There's so many issues that will affect that particular child in the long run. There's so many aspects to this. And as we're going to be continuing talking about women's health in different segments, we're going to talk about the surrogacy. We're going to also talk about your menopause issues. We're going to talk about so many things concerning the women in the physical and the spirituality aspect. But for today, we're just going to concentrate on the sperm donors. And to unpack that with me, I've got umama Ndlovukazi, umama NOLUVUYO NDAMASE. Camago mama. Ndicela ubulise bantu bakowenu bonke phaphandle. Bulisa mama.
Ndibulisa wena kuqala.
Enkosi.
Ndibulise uTata Mabonga.
Camago.
With the hope yoba usibukele. Ndibulise bonke abantu ababukeleyo kwindawo ngendawo abakuzo. Around the world, greet everyone. Thank you.
Siyacamagusha mama. Mama, ndithenda xa ndithetha nawe, when I spoke to you, I said to you, I need somebody who will be able to help me unpack the sperm donors thing. And before I really get into that deep end of the topic for today, I need to first understand who is umama NDAMASE.
Umama NDAMASE nguNoluvuyo kowabo. Apazalwa khona kukutsolo eEastern Cape.
Right.
KwaSikhutshwa.
Okay.
Ndaze ndacelwa ngenkomo kwaNDAMASE. Njengoba ke ndingumama NDAMASE ke ngoku.
Okay. So umama NDAMASE ngelasemzini.
Ewe.
NOLUVUYO lelasemzini.
NOLUVUYO lelasekhaya.
Okay.
Pha izimbi zenhlani khamifa iduku kwaNDAMASE.
Okay.
Bathi nguSimanye.
Simanye unite us, bring us unity.
Yes, bring us together.
Together. ONDAMASE khawutsho ngobani ONDAMASE?
ONDAMASE ngofako ziqhelekazi.
Okay.
Ohlamba ngobende.
Okay.
Onyawuza.
Okay.
Inkosi zamampondo.
Inkosi. So we are from the royal house. Do you understand njalo? My guest here, I want to take you guys back. She is the wife of one of our kings, a prince that was once here some time back, Prince NDAMASE. I'm sure you might remember. He was here with Nkosazana or Prince Yetu Nikiwebam some time back in September when we were celebrating heritage, and this is the wife or Indlovukazi or the queen to the prince. Welcome, Mama. Thank you so much. Now, Mama, I just want to get you to get your view regards to this sperm donors. What is your view about sperm donors in general? What does it mean to you as an African woman?
As an African woman, to me, a sperm donor, it might be, there are advantages to it, but at the same time there are disadvantages.
Okay.
There are advantages if we take it on an African, there are disadvantages if we take it on a Western perspective.
All right.
But if we take it at the same time, even if we take it on an African perspective, still there are advantages and disadvantages to it.
All right.
Because if we look at it in the olden days, the way that they were doing it in the African culture, is if me and my husband are unable to produce kids,
yes,
and I don't have a problem, but my husband is having a problem of a low sperm count or whatever, infertility, may be affected by mumps, whatever medical condition that has resulted him to being unable to produce kids, then the family will sit down.
All right.
Then the NDAMASE family will sit down. Just making an example. And then they will look in the family,
right,
the healthy male who can be able to donate. But it was not put in that way.
Okay.
There's a way that they were doing it, but the sensitive and the tricky part is that the brother gets to go to the other brother's bed, of which it's a bit tricky and a bit sensitive somehow. But in the olden days, they were able to control it, because of sense of responsibility, or because of sense of respect, and a sense of secrecy. People from the olden days, they were very secretive.
Now, just to cut, I want to find out something.
Yes.
You said something very important here.
Yes.
In as much as it was a secretive,
Yes.
a secretive process,
Yes.
but it was not a secretive process because the family would sit down. It means there would be an engagement,
yes,
of I would say more than two people.
Yes.
The husband, the wife, and the family members, the key people. Who would then be sitting there? I just want to understand who would come together. Is it maybe my aunt or the female's aunt or malume? Who are or the old grannies? Who are these key people that would be sitting together? Used to back then.
The key people who will be sitting there will be the key family members. In each and every family,
there would be those.
There are key members.
Okay.
In each and every family.
All right.
For instance, I can say in my family, at home, let's leave the NDAMASEs alone. In my family at home, there are uncles.
Okay.
Whom there are no decisions that can be taken without them being aware of such decisions. So I believe in each and African family there are such people who are key to each and every particular family.
Those people are and most of the time are the ones that when we find that when we want to do izinto zasemsamo, we want to go and do certain rituals, those are the people, or those are the people that will go and speak on behalf of the family in a way.
Yes.
So those are the same people then who still then come and sit together and talk about. Now what happens? They start discussing that now this is the situation. Will there be the person, they'll say the husband, will the husband be there in present in that discussion, or where will the husband be?
In other cases, the husband will be there.
Okay.
But in some cases, in most of the cases, the husband will not be there.
The culprit, the husband will be sent away.
Will not be there.
Why? Is it a culture?
It's I don't think it's a culture apparently, but it's somehow protecting the ego of the husband one way or the other.
Yes.
Having to subject him to the fact that he is unable to do what he's supposed to do.
Okay. And now, but he will be aware that such is happening. That there is a gathering
in other cases, they are aware.
Okay.
But in some cases, they are not even aware.
Okay, take us through. That's a bit heavy. Then what happens?
Yes. Then they will be sitting, and then there will be that arrangement, and then the child will be born.
So, okay, Mama.
Yes.
You know, we are candid as it comes.
Yes.
I would wish you to unpack exactly. Now they've gathered.
Yes.
You know, after gathering, they've spoken. Now this is the situation, and now what then? What happens? What agreements? The wife will be there, sitting there. Like, now this is what we're going to do. Does the wife choose whom she may do the process with, or what happens?
No, the wife is not at liberty to choose.
So the family, the uncles chooses for.
The family will choose for you.
Sure. So you just sit there as a wife and become this submissive, respectful wife. We have to listen to what the elders decide.
Yes.
Wow. You know, our culture is very interesting.
And at the end of the day, they will say they are doing it for you as well, so that you won't be scorned in the community for not being able to give birth. Because at the end of the day, the truth be told, we women, we are every time when there is no child in the home, the fingers will always come to us.
The blame always lies with the woman.
It always lies with us. So that is why you'll find us being submissive to
and subjecting ourselves
ourselves to those things. And in other cases, you will find that the same people who put us through those things are same women as us.
You know, what Mama NDAMASE has just mentioned now is very key for me, because being that woman who's been married to this man, and now because he cannot be able to, now you have to subject yourself to such decisions, and whereby you cannot say a word, and the culture says that you have to abide. Such things now takes me to another level of saying the mental aspect of it. What does it say to me from a mental perspective? And our culture, beautiful as it is, can we say, is that the right way of doing it? I'm not saying it's not, but can we say it's the right way, whereby I don't have a say? Still on the sperm donors, I want us to take a break and think about this one. I'm being told what to do. I don't have a say in this case. I have to engage with another man. Our culture. See you now.
Because here she's just expressing her own views.
No, I understand.
Which is not accurate.
If my daughter is selling fat cakes here at home, why would I go and buy fat cakes next door?
We will never ever allow that. So cliques must take full responsibility.
The looting that we saw must have been coming from other elements who were part of this protest.
mother is the custodian, the carrier of traditions and culture and everything.
This cannot be happening. But hey, it's happening right now in South Africa.
We have a unified education system in South Africa. It's the same throughout.
Yeah.
But is it relevant to a child in...
Welcome back to Sankofa. Today your host is Dr. Gogo MAJOLA. We're still on the topic of women's health, and we are talking about the sperm donors. And as it was said previously in our discussion with Mama NDAMASE, that our culture is very beautiful, yet at the same time it make us wonder why certain things are done. The husband may not know, the wife cannot say anything. She just has to listen and get the instructions. She was still telling us about the process whereby the family has gathered. You're sitting there as the wife. The husband may not even be there. The uncles are sitting there. Now the issue is being presented. What happens next?
What happens next? They choose. They come with a solution. Apparently, when they present this to you, they will present it in a way that it's also for your own benefit.
Also for your own benefit?
Yes.
Right? We'll talk about benefits.
And as a woman, every woman, once you get married, you want to start a family.
Right.
That urge of being a mother is within you.
Yes.
When the years will go past without you being a mother, it haunts you.
Right.
So as much as they enforce this thing to you, but at the same time, as much as you are quiet, listening to them, coming up with solutions for you, you are looking at the end product. Right. That at the end of the day, I will not be a scorn.
You won't be called barren. You won't be, carry the shame in the family and be classified as this barren woman that cannot bear kids, and everyone gives you all these names in the family. So in a way, it will then help. It was helping to bring dignity within that particular family for you. Hence, it's your benefit in a way, now that you feel like a woman. Now, when you're talking about that, I just want to find out, does it ever happen that the husband finds out that maybe, because you said there is a solution comes up whereby maybe one of the younger brothers or the elder brothers would then now have to engage with the wife, so that there must be somebody so that she can be pregnant. Does the husband ever find out? Is it one of those secrets?
It's one of those family secrets.
It's one of those family secrets
that are kept within the family.
My goodness.
But in our days now, you will find that, as I have mentioned earlier, that the sense of secrecy, it's no more there.
Now we're saying in those days it was so highly secret, but now as we evolve, it's no longer that much of secrecy.
Right? You'll find that it's no more a secret. Sometimes people, they just spit it out. Just to, not because they are trying to help anyway, or else, let's say maybe the child is having a problem, so they are trying to help the child or anything. No, you'll find that they are just doing it in order to make someone feel bad, or to make someone to destroy whatever that was built all the years. Because sometimes you come to me and tell me that my father is not my father, my uncle is my father. You're not telling me just because you are trying to help me in the process, so that I can actually identify myself in the right way. You're just telling me to fulfill your own selfish needs or your own selfish reasons and all those things. It's the level of selfishness that has gone up. That has resulted in all this African sperm donation thing becoming a taboo and a huge problem.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that sperm donors or sperm donation is something that was there in our culture even back in the days, and it was for a good purpose and a good deed to make sure that we keep the family and we keep the dignity of the family and of the woman, and to make sure that we are one family. We don't, they say, don't hang your dirty linen on the your linen on for the public to see. So it was one of those things that was done specifically for that. So it is something that has been done there. It's there in our culture.
Yes.
Now, looking at what is happening currently now, what can you say was the difference? Where did we lose it now? It's picking up from what you're saying, that now it's no longer secrets. They just speak about it. What really went wrong?
The problem.
And how is it done nowadays?
It's supposed to be done in the same way.
All right.
But you will find, firstly, you will find that because as a woman, I'm tired of being scorned.
All right.
I'm tired of being laughed at. So I decide to go out.
Now, going out, not within the family, in your own capacity as a woman.
In my own capacity as a woman. Yes, I go out.
Okay.
And then come back with a child.
Now, when you're saying go out, you meaning like you're going to have an extramural activity?
Yes.
This is becoming juicy.
Just because I'm tired of being scorned. I'm tired of being laughed at for my childlessness, of which maybe I know that I don't have a problem here, or else I don't even know if I have a problem.
But you just feel that you want to test who's got the problem here.
Who's having a problem? Am I having a problem, or my partner is having a problem?
And bearing in mind that in our African culture, our men are the last people to be suspected to have issues here. It's always a woman's issue. It's always a woman not being able to. It's always a woman who's barren. It's a woman who's this. It's a woman who's that. That is another topic for another day. My guests, my viewers out there. Yes. Now, I then take it upon myself as a woman. I go out there.
Yes.
Secretively so. Then I get that particular person that will then make me to conceive. Then I come back with the child without telling my husband.
Nobody knows. It's only between me and the person.
Sure.
But the advantages of that. It's better when you have done it with somebody from the same clan. Because
now you're talking about something interesting. Somebody from the same clan. Now we're going to link that. Just take that in your head. I want you to explain to me why is it critical from the same clan. Continue.
In that case, the child won't have that much of identity crisis.
Now you're talking.
That child will be identified. Let's say for instance,
yes,
and then I'm struggling.
Yes,
I go out.
Yes,
and get impregnated by a Faguman.
Faguman, but not within the same house, but somewhere else outside. If another Fagu guy that then impregnates you, then that is fine. You say that's what you're saying.
Yes.
All right.
Then in that case, the traditions that are going to be conducted to this child won't be a problem. Won't kick his system or her system. Won't kick those traditions away because it's still the same clan.
Now you're saying that now you're still supporting.
But then, if it happens that I went out,
to a different clan,
then comes a problem.
Then now
because that child will grow up knowing himself or herself as Umafaku or Kanyu Ufaku.
I get you.
But and all the rituals will be the family will sit down and do all the rituals that are supposed to be done. But when time goes by, that child will have a problem because everything that was done to him, it's not connecting with himself, with the inner man in him or in her.
I like what you're saying, Mama NDAMASE, because as a spiritualist, as a healer, you find that when sometimes we tell the person that, you know, you are calling yourself with the surname, but that is not your actual surname, you know, and you find that the person, there's so many things that are not going well in that person's life just because of a surname. So what you're saying for me is it's key to say that if that would be the case, that you are, as a woman, you are pushed to that level and you cannot talk to anybody, you know, if it happens, we're not promoting adultery. Please bear with, hear us very well. We're not promoting adultery here, but we're just stating the facts of the things that are normally happening out there without being told, without being discussed, and without being talked about.
Yes, another thing, Doc, that we tend to overlook when we are in that crisis of childlessness, it's about the child. It's the child. We overlook what the child will go through as a result of what I, as the parent, have done. I take these decisions in order to cover my own back, forgetting about the child that is going to be born. Forgetting about the consequences that she or he will go through. It's another level of selfishness that on its own, because I'm looking at myself.
Yes,
I'm struggling. Every corner that I turn, I'm a laughing stock. Every corner that I turn, I'm a laughing stock. So for me to stop that, I don't think about the future.
You think of the now.
I think of a now, yes. I think of a solution now. That for me to stop this situation,
this is the best way I can do it.
This is the best way I can do it.
You know,
that is why I'm coming with that. When you mentioned that we are not promoting the adultery, yes, because adultery has got its own problems,
consequences also. You know, when you say that, Mama, that is now we were talking from the cultural perspective.
Yes.
All right. Now, and we spoke about the benefits of it, and we unpacked the hows of it. Now, I want us to look into the Western way of it, because we spoke about it earlier on. Yes. You know, I want us to unpack the benefits or the disadvantages if we were to do it in the Western way, you know, and how is it affecting spiritually, you know. And with that being said, I want you to, I would like my viewers out there to sit back and think deeply about what we've just spoken about now. See you now.
Galaxy Universal Network, inspiring Africa, making global.
Welcome back to Sankofa. Your host today is Dr. GOGO MAJOLA, and my guest here, NOLUVUYO NDAMASE. before the ad break, we were talking and unpacking another way where that happens for sperm donors to happen, whereby the woman feels and she takes it upon herself to go and look for somebody who can impregnate her so that she can cover the shame that she's subjected to within the family. And normally you find that the husband doesn't know, and the child will be brought up in that family by the husband who's not the actual or the biological father. And you find that in such cases, in the later run, that child is having an identity crisis. But what she then mentioned is that it's preferred that if you were to do that, we're not promoting that you do it. If you were to do it, advisedly so, do it with the same within the same clan name of that of the husband that you married to, just to try and manage and align the spiritual implications in the later run. Now, as we're moving forward, NDAMASE, let's look into the Western way when it comes to the sperm donors. Now, this cultural one, discussed, everyone is involved, what have you. Yes. Now, Western way, how is it done? And what are the benefits and disadvantages?
The Western side of the sperm donor, the woman and the husband, they agree.
All right.
And go to the clinic.
Yes.
Because in this case, there is no sexual intercourse that is involved.
Okay.
They will just go, and then they will come up with the specifications of the kind of a child that they will prefer. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Those are just the possibilities.
Yes.
If we look at it clearly, mm-hmm. Because when a sperm donor goes to the sperm bank,
yes,
he goes there on his own.
Okay.
And they don't. There is no deeper look mm-hmm. at the other generations.
Okay.
There is no look maybe on the father's side or the mother's side or whatnot.
The nuclear. There's no understanding, who is this person.
Yes. The only thing that you'll find maybe in the profile mm-hmm. is the features, mm-hmm. the blood type, and all those things.
Just that person, and that's it.
Just that person.
All right.
And maybe you will expect that, okay, because this is the person, mm-hmm. and these are the features, and this is it. Intellectually, this person is mm-hmm. good and all that. Mm-hmm. Not considering the fact that there is within him,
there are genes that are and other people that are linked to that person.
Yes, there are other genes within him that are very much passive. But those genes being passive, it doesn't mean they cannot work at some point. Then I go and I get this profile of this person. I'm happy. Mm-hmm. And then we decide, me and my partner, we decide, mm-hmm. or else, let's say I'm alone, whatever the case may be, mm-hmm. we decide that this is the right person.
All right.
That which is in that profile, mm-hmm. it's just the possibilities.
It's not the 100%.
It's not the 100% of that, okay, I want a tall guy, so that my child will be tall because I'm short. That child may take my height and be shorter like me.
So it's not 100%.
It's not 100%.
Okay.
And then another problem that I think can be very, very, very much tricky mm-hmm. is that we don't even know the spiritual side.
Spiritual of that person. I wanted to come to that.
Yes, we don't know the spiritual side of that person because you'll find that in other families there are certain rituals that are being done.
Yes.
And this person has become this success. Maybe you wanted somebody successful to father your child biologically. Maybe the success of that person is linked to the rituals that person has
ancestral rituals and curses.
Done. Yes, ancestral rituals and way of overcoming the curses somehow. They have, as the family, they have found a way of overcoming the curses in the whole process. But then I take that seed.
And you plant it, inherit it in your womb. Now you're inheriting all that.
Yes, I'm taking that, and then I groom this child, and I don't even know what kind of ritual the father of the child was done to him. And we cannot run away from the fact that us as Africans, our rituals are very deep. And you will find that I do the ritual as myself, and then that ritual may not affect my child, but may affect my grandchild. I might go and take that seed from outside.
From that sperm bank.
From that sperm bank. Yes. That seed that I do not know what kind of rituals are they doing.
Now,
and then I come with it here. And my child won't have a problem. But his children. And at that time, maybe I'm no longer there.
You know what, Mama? You just said something very, very, very critical here. Yes. Now, I want to expand this. Now, there's a sperm bank, and then I go and do that. How different it is when you're talking of rituals that say, now I do the rituals myself here. How different it is now when there's single mothers, whereby you happen to have met this person, maybe somewhere in one of the countries, and you fell pregnant, and now, boom, you've got a child, you move to another country, now you've got a single mother. Or cases whereby there was a relationship, then now the father decides that he doesn't want to be part of the child's life. Now the child becomes your child. And as you know, in our culture, if you're not married with the father, the child remains with the mother. So in terms of that, then can you I just want to off-ramp a bit. Now we're linking it from the Western, with that aspect. What is your view on that one as sperm donors, whereby we end up classifying those men who've left their kids as sperm donors?
It's a bit tricky and very, very sensitive, because first of all, that child, according to our custom,
yes,
and culture,
yes,
that child belongs to you
as a mother.
As the mother,
yes.
That child belongs kwasikhothwa apho ndizalwa khona.
Yes,
yes. And the rituals, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work.
So you meaning the rituals that I would do as a mother?
As a mother for my child.
For my child, because she's taking she's taking my surname.
Yes.
Yes, they will work.
But they might work.
They might. Mm-hmm.
It's not guaranteed. Because in other cases, I've come across cases whereby you will find that a child is born out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Yes, by a single mother.
Yes.
And then they do the rituals of the maternal side.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then along the way, the child, maybe just for argument's sake, you find that I got this child from one father. I got two children from one father as a single mother.
Yes.
And the other one doesn't have a problem with the maternal side rituals.
Yes.
They don't give him any problem. But the other one has a problem.
Now,
so the kids are not the same. So it's very much complicated. We cannot know. That is why it's important to know the roots of your child, to know where your child comes from. That is why on my own perspective, I'm talking as NOLUVUYO ke ngoku.
Yes.
I would say, let's infuse African and Western.
All right.
In these cases, because if we infuse African and Western, we can sit down as a family.
Yes.
And then a person can donate. And then we go to, we take the route of going to the Western doctors. And the Western doctors conduct everything that needs to be conducted. And then I conceive. Unlike having those sexual entanglements, because even those sexual entanglements on their own, they've got other things that may come up at the end of the day.
Because it's spirituality impact on it.
The problem with sex, it's not just physical.
It is also spiritual.
It's also spiritual. You will find that we get involved get involved physically, but then there will be spiritual implications of our involvement. That is why I will say, if it was according to me, I will say, rather take this route. Yes, I know still your seed has got your spiritual things on it, but the fact that I didn't lay myself for you, at least it will count for something, firstly. And secondly, in the case whereby I am a married woman, and then there is this younger brother or older brother that has to take over the duties of the brother that is unable to give to bear kids. The fact that the other brother has got into a bed of the other brother,
then that is
the chances of the one who got into bed of the other brother disrespecting the one who is unable to bear kids are very much high. But if the younger brother or the older brother doesn't know my nakedness, he will still look at me as his sister.
Respect.
Yes. And look at his brother as his brother, looking at him with a respect.
I get you. You know, Mama, I'm this is very interesting, and I'm learning a lot. Now, with the rituals being done, you're saying that at some point it might happen that when the child is being born out of wedlock, it may happen that the child might need rituals of the father.
Yes.
So now that will mean that father, what if that father now just decided that he decides that they want to be a sperm donor, or the woman decide that I want that person to be a sperm donor?
Yes.
Then now we're saying that in that case now we're not only considering our selfish reasons. We're not looking into the child's life and the next generations to come. So that could be a downfall of some sort, whereby we might say men need to start taking accountability at the same time as women need to take accountability of the child, because at the end of the day is for the next generation to the generation after.
Yes, it's not about us. It's not about us. It's never about us.
What you just mentioned that your advice to say you would rather advise somebody that if you were to be married, let them go this route. Now, I'm just want to ask a case whereby most of women now getting married and all those things. It's a matter of a choice. Some women say, no, I choose not to be married. You know, and what if I then choose not, but I want a child? What would be your view in this case? Can I go and get? Can I go into the sperm bank, or maybe if I feel like I want my child to have a Faku genes, can I maybe find a Faku guy and have a child? What's your view on that one?
I think it will be better if you can just find somebody that you know.
Find somebody that
you can trace.
So you can do a history and trace.
Yes, that you can trace. Yes, because you'll find that some are just the curses. Are just the curses that can be broken. And for you to be able to break those curses, you need to know their originality. You cannot break something that you don't know where it originates.
That is deep.
Yes, you need to know the originality. We can, if you are dealing with what is taking place now, it's like going to a doctor because you've got a headache, and the doctor give you painkillers without checking what is the cause of that headache. Maybe you've got a brain tumor. Who knows?
Maybe there's a history of certain sicknesses within that that family,
Yes.
and maybe that sperm donor at that time, it just says no, he's fine. Maybe just 2 or 3 people that were within his generation are okay, but maybe 7 generations. And you know what's even more interesting? To find that maybe there's a traditional healer or a spiritualist within the family. Now you bring this, you go and get a sperm donor, you a sperm, then you got it into your net, but there's no one who's a healer at home. Then the next thing it comes out that the child says no, but you've got someone in your family who's got this gift, and I wonder, where did it come from?
Talking about that, there are situations whereby you'll find that the child has got a calling. And if the calling is not from my side,
obviously it's from the other side.
Obviously it's from other side. And if that child, because we cannot run away that with regard to the calling, there is a traditional way of doing things, and at the same time, there is a Christian way of doing things. Yes. Whereas, of which we cannot decide for kids. Let's say, I am a Christian. I cannot decide for my kid to be a Christian. My child can just decide to be a traditionalist. Whereas I am a Christian. My child can just decide to be a traditionalist. It's a matter that we don't have control over. And if my child is a traditionalist, that will take him back. If she's got a calling, and the calling is not from my side, the rituals that will need to be conducted on the child will be the rituals from paternal side.
And now that women have to go back now and find out who is the father, where are you coming from, and who is who, and all those people that make you. As Dr. Mabonga would always put it like this, say, this is you in the middle. You know, where are these people for you that really make you to be? Now, if now you could just gonna go somewhere and get to produce you without this one being the actual physical that you don't even know where it comes from.
It's a problem.
So, Mama, would you say then sperm donors now, this sperm donors, would you say would it be an advisable thing in the near future? Because I'm looking at how our generation is evolving. You know, many women, we are the so-called independent women. You know, it's all about us. We decide what we want to do as women. I decide I want to this. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to get married. This is what I want to do, and I just want kids. And what would be your view on that? Do you think we should consider this or not?
With regard to being an independent woman, you can still be an independent woman.
All right.
But know the roots of your child.
Know the roots of your child.
For the benefit of your child.
For the benefit of your child.
Not for yourself. Not for yourself. Not for yourself. For the benefit of your child. Be an independent woman. Have your own children. But make sure that your kids, you've got a place to link them to.
You know,
because at the same time, it's frustrating for these kids not to know their father's side. It's frustrating.
You know, Mama, when you say that, it just takes me to say that regards to men at the same time, we're involving them in this case whereby they need also to understand that they cannot just produce and give sperms there, and then women are so needy of sperms. There's deeper and depths to it. When Mama NDAMASE says that you need, as an independent woman as much as you can, you need to know the roots of your child. And same applies to the woman that you're planting your seed to, you also need to understand and know who is this woman who's going to bear this child or these children of mine that I want. As much as you may have been doing that sperm donation on the side without anybody being knowing, and at the same time, even if you do it by you guys knowing together that now we are doing this, I'm just giving you the sperm and then you're going, but you need to be able to understand and know the product or the offspring that you're going to put there, because as mothers, we also need to understand that we are the givers of life. We are the ones that we are Mother Nature and the Mother Earth. We are the ones that should take much responsibility, moreover, to dig deep into the roots of understanding what comes to us, because we receive and we nurture, and then we grow, and then we produce, and then we put it up together, and then we groom it until it's a human being that is now be able to take decisions. But it's also key, as you just said, Mama.
Yes.
Know the roots, understand who is that person, whoever that you're going to have the sperm donation with, or go to the bank and understand those aspects. Now, Mama, just to link that also, would you then say the surrogacy? I'm linking now with that, because when you do surrogacy, it's also the similar, it's a similar process. That what I would understand, because whereby now surrogacy, somebody else comes and whereby the woman cannot be is barren, and then the man comes and plants the seed on that particular woman. What would be, just to pick your brain on that one, would the process be similar, whereby maybe you would prefer the woman, let be a woman within home, let's say you and I are sisters, then I can't give birth, and then you can, then my husband would then put the seed into you?
In the case of surrogacy, there are many factors that results to surrogacy. In other cases, you'll find that my ovaries are are able to produce eggs.
Yes.
But my uterus cannot carry. In that case, a surrogacy is just an incubator.
Okay.
Because the egg is mine.
All right.
Even when the DNA is taken from that child, whether you have carried the child for me,
okay,
the DNA will point to me because the egg is mine. You are just you are as a surrogate mother. You are just an incubator. Yes.
All right.
But I think then it's a different case when I can't even produce eggs.
Okay.
When I even need your egg, I need your womb. I need your egg.
Okay.
Then it needs to also go as deep as as in the male counterparts.
All right.
Yes.
So now you're saying whereby you need the womb and the egg. Now then the sperm that will be donated would be of my husband, and then but now we need the womb and the egg that will carry. That will carry this, but it may not be necessarily mine at that time. So then I have to accept now that woman who's going to carry. Now I need to know.
You need to know. You need to know, so that even when you groom this child, you know what to expect. You know what kind of behavior you can expect from this child. You know what kind of sicknesses.
Yes. You know, when you say
that
now,
and even the spirituality side of this child, everything, you just, if the egg is not yours,
yes,
you just need to know, you just need to understand
who's
everything.
The person. Now, Mama, you know what this takes me to? There's sperm donors and womb donors.
Yes.
Those two are key, because the one who's willing to carry that sperm for you, the womb donor. You know, it's not. Now you also need to know the history of that person, because that womb person is the one that now is going to be same as linking with that sperm, and now they're going to be producing this offspring.
Yes.
This is, Mama. This is